Do you have a game sitting in your Steam library that you haven't played but really want to try it? For me, that was Total War Warhammer 3. For those of you who follow my live streams know that I love any game with great lore. I know nothing about the Warhammer universe, but I've been told by fans that it is absolutely amazing and it's something that I need to really get into. I also love strategy and fantasy games, so Warhammer 3 has been on my list for a long time for a game that I want to play. I just needed that little extra push to jump in. And that push finally came in the form of an invitation from a friend who wanted to try and play multiplayer campaigns together.
Hello everyone that's in my chat only because they can't hear me right now. Okay, what we're gonna do is I have to kill all these other people.
I felt like this was the moment I've been waiting for to give the game a try, so I opened up my friends list on Steam, looked to see whoever also had the game, and then just sent out as many invites as I could. Side note, by the way, can we talk about how seriously difficult it is as an adult to find time to play games with friends? There's so many obstacles, people's schedules, work, family, kids, all that stuff, and everyone's just so busy all the time. It's kind of very frustrating. Anyway, so after some time searching to find more people to play with, I only found 2 other people. That made it 4 of us, random friends playing Total War Warhammer 3 multiplayer campaign for the first time. 3 of us were streamers, so I guess the collab made the most sense. And oh my gosh, it has been quite the experience.
If I ever feel like we've made a bond that's truly enriching and close enough to call us great friends, I will show you my my like 14-year-old me in my parents' basement making a top 10 Zelda bosses video.
It's one of the most fun experiences I've had playing a game in a very long time. Starting out, I chose Karl Franz and the Empire as my starting faction. Remember, this is my first time looking at the game, and outside of the Lost Bear tutorial that it makes you do or recommends you doing at the beginning, I saw the little recommended icon on the Lord, and I was like, oh, okay, that must mean that, you know, I should give that a try because it should be easy, right? Boy, was I wrong, but that is, we'll get into that a little bit later. What I want to do is introduce the other players in this delightful game. Next we have Sister Trashly, the one who started all of this, who really wanted to play multiplayer with everybody, choosing Hellebrand, Blood Queen of Harganeth in the Dark Elves faction. The Dark Elves look so cool and I really want to try them next, but like, are they kind of evil? Like they kind of give off evil vibes. I don't know. Maybe Trashly is like planning some sort of evil thing or...
Okay, what we're gonna do is I have to kill all these other people.
Maybe it's a good thing that she's so far away from the Empire, because I don't know, I sense trouble, especially since Trashly is more experienced at the game than I am, and I don't know, this is scary. Then we have Tyas from the Cozy Gamer Gang, the 3rd streamer in our group, commanding the Knights of Bretonia, his chosen lord being the absolute powerhouse that is Réponse de Léonesse. She is a paladin with humble origins, but her attacks are incredible. I mean, some of the things that we saw in the campaign, just she's crazy. I don't know, what a fun lord. Tyas is also very funny, and I hope you appreciate his humor throughout this this Warhammer journey.
Where I make sure it's recording, walk off the camera, and then walk back in and go, "Hey, didn't see you there. What is up, everybody?"
He's great for content. Great content farm kind of person. I'm not using him or anything, no. Lastly, we have a good friend from my community, R2, who's joining as the Lizardman with the mighty Croc Gar as their lord. R2 is a more experienced player than a lot of us, pumping tons of hours into Warhammer 2. I'm a little intimidated, but I expect great things, and R2 is probably just going to show us how it's done, right? So there we have it. 4 random unique empires spread across different areas of the map. One of the things that I really like about this game is that each faction has a very specific lore region that they start the campaign in. Unlike other games like Civilization 6 that has, you know, you start out of a random location, you kind of explore the randomly generated continent and things. No, Warhammer 3 is very different because it's in a setting and there's just so much lore and history, and each faction has to have their own places that they start out in. It's very important, and there's all these reasons for it, and it also changes the difficulty of the campaign campaigns that you choose. More about my Empire experience later. I don't know, there's just so much lore in this game, and I am a personal lover of lore. I love reading codex entries and little things and Easter eggs, finding Easter eggs, and just finding random quests and like MMOs or RPGs, and I don't know, I just love that stuff. So maybe I should start making some videos on some Warhammer stuff. Maybe it's going to be related to the campaigns that we play, but I think that would be kind of fun. Subscribe if you're so inclined to want more of that kind of content, because I'm an artist and I like to draw, and I think that would be an excellent opportunity if I could do some Warhammer stuff too. Also, leave a comment down below if that's something you would like. So upon starting the game, some things became very clear right away. Number one, we were isolated. It would take several turns before we would even be able to do like diplomatic talks or anything between our peoples. I mean, that's kind of the fun thing. I like that. Safety. Number two, we would also need to agree upon some big major rules that are not like inherently in the game or anything like that. Like, the game gives you the opportunity to take over AI armies during battles, and we decided that it would be kind of unfair if, say, I was defending against some orcs or something attacking the Empire, and Tyus decided that he was going to control the armies and then just wipe out my troops because maybe he's a better strategist than I don't know. We're both very new to the game, but you know, things like that. Or like Trashly, even if Trashly came in and just destroyed us in a battle. We decided we're gonna let the AI do its thing. So we're going to spectate. If we wanted to, we could also help the player who's struggling, maybe controlling some cavalry and like taking away some of the micromanaging, because that would be acceptable.
Well, he kept his swordsmen out of the fray for so long, and that's going to be good against the infantry here.
Okay, those are bad.
What are we,
guys.
commentary?
We are.
Yes, what are you talking about?
Team.
Here they come.
This is like a sports arena. We're like on the mountaintop watching it.
Yes.
I'm shoutcasting. I'm shoutcasting this now. Alrighty, guys. We see Dust go ahead and roaming in with his troops from the far valley. Oh, he's gonna get hit by another
Dust is more reinforcements. Holy
God,
shit!
I don't know if I can do this. You can do this. You can do this.
You may pay for it in blood, but you got it.
Believe. Believe.
The third thing we decided upon was once one player gets eliminated, we would start a new campaign together, because, you know, for streaming purposes, it's not fun when one of the streamers is knocked out of the game, and then what do? They just comment the rest of the time? That just doesn't seem very fun. So we would continue that other campaign off screen some other time, but stream will always have a live campaign. So, but that also brought up a fourth thing that we had to decide on, or we had to see who was the first one to go out, you know? Who has what it takes to live on into the end times or whatever this game has, you know? So I will admit that it was a little rough starting out for me as the Empire. I used the auto resolve to get past my first few battles, and watching the others manage their first battles as well, I was taking notes. If I was gonna have any chance to like learn anything and quickly figure out the game, I had to just watch and spectate the other battles. I eagerly watched as Tyus, Trashly, and R2 battled against their immediate enemies at the very beginnings of their campaigns. Clash of troops in exotic locations. It was just amazing. I love this game because of the graphics, the artwork. I love fantasy, and just watching armies of different dragons, elves, and dwarves and all that just like come together, and the front lines clash against each other, and it's so cool. I also bought the extra blood DLC, and it's so fun watching them get shredded apart and just become little red fountains, you know? Just the little things. It's just the little things. First, we kind of watched Tyus charging into battle with their famous cavalry of Bretonia. I was definitely taking notes and kind of like watching how Tyus manages the cavalry, the shock cavalry against the Tomb Kings, which is very interesting. Oh my gosh, I love the aesthetic too. The pyramids and the sand and all that. Just great stuff. Next, we had Trashly with her Dark Elves fighting off some greenskins. I don't know how to judge her tactics, but certainly someone who does might know what she's up to. Like, I feel like this is, I don't know, when she started things out, I felt like Trashley was just trying to con us into thinking maybe she's not so great at the game. She just wanted to play with friends. But I don't know. She turned some crazy fights into, like, she turned some losing scenarios into wins, and I'm just like, do I need to be worried? It was actually some time before I felt brave enough to fight my own battle, but I saw an opportunity where I could turn a close victory with high casualties into maybe a more decisive one and limit the damage on my troops. And I mean, of course, the AI is always going to do worse, so I had to play it. I had to do it. Those rebels at the very beginning of the Franz campaign, Reichland is the province that you're trying to secure, and you have to fight off rebels, and it was stressful, especially to have other people watching you. My inexperience turned a close victory into a Pyrrhic one, and it was not the best moment. I also had to quickly learn about politics and juggling the other minor factions of the Empire and how to unify them and all that stuff. And it's just very overwhelming. Like, once secure Reichland, you're just bombarded with attacks on all sides. Like, humanity is on its final last step, and there's vampires, there's ogres, there's Skaven. The elves and the dwarves aren't necessarily nice either. It's just such a mess. And then, of course, the forces of chaos coming in and destroying everything from within and corrupting, and it's a lot. There was a lot to take in. As the game progressed, I kind of got a little more confident with winning my battles, and I hadn't lost yet, and I had rebuilt Franz's army, and I was like feeling good. I noticed that the game gives you these like little quests, these side quest battles, and they offer huge rewards, but they are very, very challenging, unfortunately. I did not know this. And then my army had not been fully healed after their last big confrontation. But I saw that you could teleport to there, so you didn't have to walk all that way. And I was like, oh, that's cool. That's a nice little feature. I just pay a little gold, get a bunch of gold back. Like, cool. Love that. Mistake. Huge mistake. I did not know what I was doing, obviously. The battle started off great. It's against the Norska, and I think things were doing good. I had a bunch of defenses up. I had my front lines were holding, but there were waves and waves of reinforcements, and they don't all come from the sea, as the game kind of like hints at that. They suggested, oh, they're these they're like Vikings, right? They're fantasy Vikings, and they're going to come from the water, and they're going to storm the shores, and if you just fortify your defenses, like, you should be good, right? Yeah, no, the reinforcements came in from both flanks and kind of further up on the coast, and by the end of it, my lines were a mess.
So what are you talking about?
Here they come. This is like a sports arena. We're like on the mountaintop watching it.
Yes.
I'm shoutcasting. I'm shoutcasting this now. Alrighty, guys. If we see Dust go ahead and roaming in with his troops from the far valley. Oh, he's gonna get hit by another wave of reinforcements.
Holy shit!
I don't know if I can do this. Boy, was I just in a bad place for the rest of the few turns that we took for our first stream. Oh, but I had such a blast. The commentary, everything that everyone had to say. Tyus and Trashley make great commentators. It's been a really great collab to work with them. Link in the description if you want to follow those streamers as well. Over the next few play sessions that we'll do, I'm definitely going to learn from my mistakes, and I'm going to become really invested in some of the individual lords, units, and heroes that are in my empire and in the other armies as well, because I think that's really fun. The next few videos are going to talk about the progression of our campaign, and also we're going to have a very notable little character named Hans, who I think you'll all enjoy the adventures of Hans. What a story. We stream every Wednesday night if you want to come check that out, both on Twitch and here on YouTube. There will be more videos to come, so be sure to subscribe to this channel if you want more content like that. I do a bunch of other things like Guild Wars 2, RPGs, anything art and fantasy and lore related, you know, all that stuff. Plus, you also have to see who's the first one to get eliminated, right? That's the most important thing. So would I recommend this game to other people? Yes, definitely. Give it a try. There's a whole bunch here, a bunch of content. I know it's a little steep on the price, but if you can get a bunch of the expansions on sale, the DLC, definitely do that. And it's a great time. Get some friends together. Play. It's great. Bonding. So much fun. Anyway, I will see you all on the next story. Thanks for watching.